head toward Christmas. I don't know about y'all, but I got one more hour to go. AJ, you got 2 more hours to go
Don't rub it in.
because y'all got breaking bread tonight. I was just complaining about the DEI chief getting fired, and and this came out while I was going through that little rant last hour. They just rehired the old chief. They got rid of this guy, hired the guy that had the job for years. Now I'm wondering, why did he not have the job anymore? Did he quit, or did they get rid of him because he's an old white guy? But it's back to the old white boys because we had 11 kids shot. Interesting. Well, the guy's got experience. I mean, he's been on the job before, and they didn't have this kind of problem. I'll be interested to hear what he has to say about fixing the department. And we still need to know more about the shooting itself. Now, I don't want to drag the whole rest of the show down with this stuff, but we did have developments in it, and I thought I would just go ahead and pass that along while we're following everything we're following tonight. Of course, let's just kind of start back at the top. One of the first stories today was 4.35 GDP. That's amazing. That blew the doors off expectations. It's the highest number since 23. And remember, 23 was when we were coming out of COVID. So the GDP numbers are all skewed. You normally don't see just explosive GDP, but when you shut a whole country down and you reopen it and everybody goes back to work and the economy reopens, they count those as increases, right? That the GDP suddenly spikes. So here's Biden over there taking credit for that. And so instead of riding the success of getting the economy reopened, they decided to pass a giant spending bill, flood money into the country, and jack up inflation, which caused them to have to raise the interest rates in the middle of all that. And that's what we're trying to unwind right now. But a 4.35 GDP is a Christmas gift to the Trump administration, and it's good news for the rest of us. If you got GDP that much higher than inflation, you got to be outgrowing your inflation rate. I don't mean to get into an economics exam, but if you're at 2.7 inflation rate and you're growing at 4.35 on an annualized basis, that's healthy. That's super healthy. So the fundamentals are there, and eventually we'll start feeling it in our own pockets as the gas prices are easing down. Your tax burden necessarily will be lower next year because they've cut taxes on just about everybody in this new bill. If you're in the service industry, you're not paying tax on those tips anymore. And it goes on and on and on. Social Security recipients, all these features that they built into the system. So, yeah, here we go. 26 on the way, and that was a good number. One of the last, I think probably the last economic indicator that'll be put out for the rest of the calendar year. So here we go. Now, 2 tragedies this afternoon to go back over. I still haven't seen any kind of news conference or update from the scene. But this is what we think we understand. First, we'll start with the first one we had when the show started today. We had a state trooper in Delaware and an assailant having a shootout at a DMV. Others, I think, were shot. But the last time we looked, it was just 2 dead at the DMV in Wilmington, Delaware. At first, that was an active shooter situation. We didn't know what the heck was going on. So that's how that wound up. And so you got the governor out and involved in that too. And then not too far from there in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, in Bristol, Pennsylvania, an absolute holiday tragedy where there was an explosion and fire in a nursing home. And this wound up being a level 2 event, whatever that means, in the state of Pennsylvania. At one point, there were at least 12 people trapped under debris on the 2nd floor. Other people were trapped in the basement. By the way, did I mention this is a nursing home in that area where, as you can imagine, the difficulty of evacuation is even harder. These people can't self-evacuate. You had a lot of material you could see where the explosion blew things out from the building. Partial collapses on part of the building. A big fire was raging as well. So we're continuing to monitor that situation. And we have not had, if there's any good news, and it's almost grim that eventually we're going to have reported fatalities, but they have not reported anything in terms of numbers as to people that died in that explosion. But that is a worst-case scenario for an explosion in a facility like that. And again, as one of our listeners pointed out, there are oxygen tanks in there and other equipment in there that could add to the problems that they're having, both to get the fire out and to rescue people. It becomes more dangerous for the first responders as well. So we're watching that this afternoon, and again, no news conference, no confirmation on any of the details, as the whole country's kind of paying attention to those stories this weekend. Y'all be careful out there. Our weather, man, it's gonna be so nice the next few days, just unusually weirdly in the 70s for the next 2 days, as now many of you figured out. But a sharp drop as another slap in the face cold front is going to plunge in here. I think it starts on Saturday night. By Monday morning, we're back in the possibly, depending on where you are, the low 30s for highs, back down in the 20s for lows. Freezing weather, but not epically freezing weather. But I've got family members that hunt. They don't know what to do. It's too hot to hunt for 3 days. Then it gets too cold to hunt. We're not getting that nice even weather, but it's back next week as we head into the new year, as winter should be. All right, making sure I hadn't skipped anything, because we had those stories today. You know, sometimes when it's right before Christmas, and we did a little goofing off today, AJ and I can just kind of goof a little bit, but we've had a series of breaking stories this afternoon that kept us on our toes. There was a ruling. Let me get this in here too, so that everybody's up to speed. A ruling against the president on the deployment of the National Guard today with the Supreme Court, and this is fascinating. And I'll try to explain it to you as best I can. It was a 6-3 ruling with some of the so-called conservatives on the court ruling against Trump. Trump wants to deploy the National Guard to assist the city of Chicago in crime enforcement, and the court said he didn't have the authority. At least, I think this is a temporary ruling. They're considering some more merits, but they were upholding a lower court decision on that. So it basically comes down to federal law versus state law. One of our listeners called earlier and was kind of incensed about the ruling and said, look, they federalized the National Guard during the Kennedy's administration and sent them to integrate the South and to deal with George Wallace. That was a different matter. Those were federal laws that were being ignored by the state of Alabama. And I would say that is more analogous to the federal laws that are being ignored by J.B. Pritzker and other governors like him, Tim Walz, Newsom, all of them, on the immigration issue. That's where the feds do have a law enforcement authority to come into a state and enforce federal law. And the Trump team is doing that with law enforcement agents, ICE, Homeland Security, Border Patrol, all those agents. Those are law enforcement agents. So, but with posse comitatus in the Constitution, and these are federal troops, or they wanted to either nationalize the Guard or use active duty folks to assist, the government doesn't have an opening, because what they're enforcing crime laws are state laws generally. When somebody gets murdered in a state, it's generally going to be the state that handles the case. Back to the situation at Brown University, that was clearly a Brown Providence, Rhode Island show until this guy crossed over into another state and killed a professor in Massachusetts. I think the feds can now be involved in a case like that, but states keep these matters local when it's state laws that are broken. Here in Alabama, it's the same thing. Laws on most crimes are state laws. They're not civil rights laws. And you can't, a civil rights argument in Chicago would be a stretch. So I'm not saying I'm glad this is the ruling, but I'm saying I understand it based on constitutional principles. If you're a strict constructionist and you believe in the Constitution, then you have to believe in state sovereignty when it comes to state matters. And you have to support the federal government when it comes to federal matters. And in matters of immigration, the feds have all the cards. We even challenged that here in the state of Alabama in 2010 with a bill we called HB 56. And that was where Alabama tried to create its own immigration laws to go out and help the federal government with. It's the opposite of what they're doing now in, again, Illinois, California, where they're ignoring the illegal immigrants. Alabama wanted to be proactive and arrest and detain and check them on our highways and whatnot, and have that ability. But the Supreme Court ruled clearly that this is the federal government's responsibility. The Congress passed the laws, the feds have to enforce, both at the border and in the interior, and the states can't just take up the federal government's charge. So we've seen this over and over, this back and forth between sovereign states versus the central power. And in that balance, this is probably a just ruling. It just is. You'd like to see Chicago get cleaned up. The feds also announced today they were going to surge troops down into New Orleans. Now, why can they do it in New Orleans and not Chicago? Because you have a governor in the state of Louisiana that's invited them. Governors can declare emergencies and ask for help. In the state of Illinois, they've not done that. They've not asked Trump to assist, or not just Trump, but our United States military to assist in their crime operations. New Orleans has. Tennessee asked for it. D.C. was a no-brainer. I mean, that was a layup. That's a federal town. There's no state sovereignty involved. So it was easier for them to go ahead and make the case. And by the way, where they've done these surges in Memphis and in D.C., and what little has been done so far in New Orleans, there was already a presence in New Orleans. They're just going to add to it. And it makes sense. If they can't go to Chicago, they got the resources, might as well do New Orleans next. And that'd be good for us here in the South to get some of these good southern cities that are within driving distance of us to be able to go visit them again, to be able to go see them again and get this crime knocked down. So that's in the news tonight, too, with everything else that's going on as we head into the holidays. Just as I said when we got on the air, it's been an active news day. I'd hope we'd be telling bad Christmas gift stories and all that, but we're dealing with all these headlines. Let's talk about Alabama Dental Associates. Put your teeth checkups on your New Year's list as well. We all need to go to the dentist, and everybody knows that. I'm going to nag you for a minute. When's the last time you've been? Sometimes you need to push. You need to know, hey, put that on your schedule. Don't forget, because I need those reminders too. Alabama Dental is the perfect dentist for especially people with a busy lifestyle, or maybe you got a large family with a lot of dental health needs. They've got the expanded hours. Dr. Brian and his team have put together a comprehensive practice for dentists, and that gives them the flexibility to take care of you late in the day. They can come on Saturdays. Yeah, they open their dental practice on Saturday. I had never heard of that when I met Dr. Brian. Full scale of services with all the investment they've made in technology and diagnostic equipment. And then, of course, there's the fact that you've got 4 different specialists. So say one guy is a specialist in this area, but you come in with a different problem, they can hand you off to their partner under the same roof and give you that comprehensive care to get you back on your feet and help you with emergency situations or just doing the routine maintenance. You'll appreciate the practice, too, the whole team around them. It's just a good atmosphere for a dentist office. Man, it's for a lot of you, it really sucks going to the dentist. They make it as easy as they can and as flexible as they can at alabamadental.com, alabamadental.com. People used to be so talented and creative. That's a cool song. When was that written? That's That's got to be the 70s, man.
Yeah, that was the 70s right there.
Good times, good times. Storm Restoration Roofing, speaking of funky, if you got a northern facing slope on your roof, it's likely gets those funky streaks down it. It's a function of the sunshine that it's exposed to. The rest of your roof, somehow the sun takes care of business, and those slopes that get limited sunshine will look like your house is a haunted house. The other side can look brand new. My house isn't that old, but boy, it looked bad on one side. We had this low pressure wash done, and it was amazing, the difference, the transformation on the roof. Greg Nelson at Storm Restoration, they're offering those services at Storm Restoration. Now, day to day, they're doing the big roof jobs. They're taking care of all of those things for folks day in and day out. Insurance claims, emergency work, just old roofs that need replacing, leaks, all that stuff. Greg's a guy you can trust. They've been in business for over 25 years, based out of Pell City. This is not a fly-by-night operation. This is my man Greg, who's been calling the show for years, and we know Greg, and we trust Greg to get up there and tell you the truth about what's going on your roof. It's Storm Restoration Roofing. Greg works on a phone number, and I want y'all to jot this down. Maybe you don't have any roof issues right now, but out of nowhere, they could happen with weather and everything else. And Greg runs his whole operation off 205-542-3531. I will stall for a second so you can get something to write this down and just stick it somewhere. We've got so many sponsors here on the show that are just good folks that do emergency stuff for you, or heating and air and all that. You never know when you're going to need them, plumbing, all that. This is one of them. So have this in a little emergency section somewhere in your contacts. Storm Restoration Roofing. Here's that number again, 205-542-3531, 205-542-3531. All right, a couple little stories, and we'll get a phone call or two in here. You're going to hate hearing this. I hated reading it, but this is true. Mariah Carey just won a huge court case over her song, All I Want for Christmas Is You. Apparently, she was sued by two dudes that claimed they wrote that song, or a song like that. They had a song with the same title back in 1989, so they sued her for $20 million. And, of course, they lost the case, but now a judge has gone back and said, oh, yeah, and you owe the woman $92,000 in sanctions. They're calling them sanctions. So they brought this frivolous lawsuit. Now they're going to have to pay for her legal fees. I hate to say it.
Don't mess with Mariah.
I hate to say it because I'm not a huge fan of hers. She's an incredible singer, but I just don't dig that kind of music. And I hate that song with all that is in my DNA. But this is good. I wish we had loser pays in this country. If you're going to go file lawsuits, and if you whiff, you eat it. You pay me back. These guys get away with just frivolously, in a nuisance way, attacking people all over the place, and nobody pays anything. Law firms cash in, still have to take half the money on a settlement, but nobody loses if you lose, right? You should have skin in the game. Some of these lawyers would quit bringing cases they couldn't win.
I agree, because I had to deal with one.
Yes, we did. You're damn right.
Yeah.
And so, if they had skin in the game, if they're going to lose out by bringing the case and had to pay the legal fees to the side you're attacking, some of the stuff would slow down.
Yeah, and what made them think that they were going to win this case anyway?
They wanted a settlement. This is how it works. They threatened the lawsuit. The Mariah Carey people sit down and go, you know what? It'll cost us more to take it to court.
No.
Let's just write them a check, make them go away. And they just wanted a check. There's a whole industry dedicated to that.
But here's the thing: if they would have paid them off, then they have well, I won't say. I'm trying to find the right word. Right, I'm not an attorney, but I guess it sets precedent. So every time you hear that song during Christmas, they're going to get a piece of that now, because you just basically said you agreed with them that they did have some type of. Now you're talking about millions of dollars.
No. The guys that sued her lost.
No. What I'm saying is, because I'm going based off what you said about if what they would want was just to pay them off, just to shut them up. Yeah. I'm saying if that was the case, then that would have set precedents of them possibly getting money in the future, because now if they would have paid them off,
It depends on how the settlement read. Like they could say, we'll take some cash and 2% of your earnings.
Right.
And then they go away and they perpetually have money from Mariah Carey's and City.
And they were not going to do that because Mariah Carey makes millions off of that.
So out of spite, she took him to court anyway, and now they got to pay her legal fees.
And guess what? Guess what she used to pay for to go through all that.
All I want for Christmas is you.
She going to have to update it. You put a lawsuit on me. That's okay because I got money.
AJ just wrote it for her.
You think you sue me? For Christmas, I sue you.
I sue you. Yeah. I sue. God, I hate that song. I got to listen to some headbanging music on the way home to get that out of my head.
So give me my money.
Jimmy the Greek. What's up, buddy?
You can call me the Geek. That's
Can we
good.
start calling you Jimmy the Geek? Because that was actually, the Greek was a whole nother guy. That'd be kind of funny.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Jimmy.
I don't really, I don't relate to what he said or did exactly other than the betting part of it.
Why do you call yourself Jimmy the Greek? Are you Greek?
No, I had a Greek girlfriend.
That is cultural appropriation. Look, if you had a PETA in the last 6 months, that qualifies. It's okay.
No, truth story about that though is I got mistaken with her for being Greek. I had to do the Greek Easter, which is not on our Easter, and do the Eastern Orthodox stuff, and it was, so I learned a lot about it. But
Look,
anyway,
I was called the Greek god this year. AJ, you remember this story? I was called by a Greek woman. It happened. She was trying to sell me clothing, and she had me cornered because they lost my luggage, and I'm standing there in Greece. And she goes, "Oh, it looks great. You could pass for Greek." I said, "Really, me? I could pass for Greek?" She goes, "Oh, you could be a Greek god." I was like, "This bitch is trying to sell me some clothes, and it's going to work." And I bought them.
Yeah, I got two doppelgangers in my past. One was 2019. They thought I looked like Epstein, so I called myself Jimmy Epstein. And then the other one is more recently, now that I'm fatter and bald, I look like Rob Reiner. So, seriously,
Yikes.
when he died.
Both of them are dead. That's tough.
Yeah, I know. I was in the grocery store, and people are smiling at me, and I'm just looking at them going, what the hell? I need to put my hat back on, because they think I'm Rob Reiner, risen from the dead, like an Elvis sighting.
Yikes.
So anyway, let me change the subject. Yesterday, y'all were talking about bad Christmas gifts, and I want to tell you one that my mom loved, and I felt guilty for years for giving it to her, but I gave her a dustpan. And if I was a kid, I didn't know, that's not really
a dustpan, like with a broom and a dustpan?
Yeah, no broom, just the dustpan. But she had an old dustpan that was from my grandmother.
It was a nice
and
gift.
It was,
yeah.
So it was just like an old nasty dustpan, and didn't have any modern features. So I bought her a new one that had some modern features on it, and she loved that thing, And I felt so bad later realizing what I had done. But I was like, she'd never get a new dustpan, and we kept the old dustpan.
Well, Jimmy, I got to go to the bottom of the hour, man. I appreciate the dustpan
later.
story, though. That's a good gift, isn't it, AJ? He's filling a need for his mama. This is what we get from New York culture, LGBTQ show tune culture. It used to be funnier than it is now. What's the funniest Christmas? Don't say grandma got run over by a reindeer.
Right.
You know what I think it is?
What's that?
Remember that radio show years ago where they did the Porky Pig Blue Christmas?
Oh yeah.
Can you play that?
All right.
That'll be our next. That'll be our next Christmas song here on the show. Y'all, Stockton Mortgage is there for you even tonight. I mean, they got people paying attention. They work all the time. So, granted, during tomorrow and the next day, I'm sure they'll be doing some family time. But Thomas said even through the weekend, if you come up with a question or you have an idea, you're looking at all these Christmas bills and wondering if you've got a better way to do it, reach out to them. They've set up a website just for this radio show so that you can easily access them. And it could just be some back and forth. You may not have to go through the whole process. It's savewithstockton.com. Savewithstockton.com. And they, of course, send all their Christmas wishes to all of y'all as we get ready to head into the holiday. Jimmy the Greek, I had to cut him off, so he's still here with us. Jimmy, I had to cut your dustpan story off. I want to give you time to keep going, so keep going, man.
Okay. Well, the dustpan thing, I just, that was not what I received. It was what I gave, and my mom made me feel so good about it later. And I was, I didn't understand at the time. But anyway, let me switch it up. I just bought a beautiful ring from Allen & Company, when they had that, when you guys were out there.
Yeah.
And I went out. I bought I dropped 10 C notes. If anybody doesn't know what that is, it's $1,000 on a beautiful ring. And I can't wait to give it to my daughter. I'm just drooling, waiting for Christmas to give it to her. And she deserves every bit of the significance behind it. But anyway, long story short is they treat me great. The box they put it in is incredible. The ring looks so good. I'm so excited just to, wait for Christmas. I feel like a kid on the other side of the equation, being able to do the giving instead of the receiving. So it's really cool. I can't wait for Christmas morning. But anyway, other than that, great shows. I'm not really going to say that I listen to y'all just for the news like Richard the Cop says, but I do listen to y'all for a lot of the news. And, I love the perspective. All that being said, Merry Christmas to you and AJ and all your families. And I will talk to you sometime, I'm sure, soon.
Well, thanks, Jimmy. We appreciate that call night, and thanks for hanging around with us through that break. We were rushing up against the bottom there and had to go ahead and dip. AJ, you feeling good, man? You ready for the holidays?
I am.
People always ask you that. I am still doing some last-minute stuff. Like I was stressing today, but I think I hit a couple home runs already.
Yeah, I'm not going to stress. It's going to happen one way or another. And people are going to either love it or hate whatever that happens, like as far as gifts-wise. So, hey, I've learned as I'm getting older, there's other things to stress about and worry about.
Kidding.
Spending money and buying gifts for people that may like. Now it would be different if like there was a gift that they still like wear. Then I know it's sentimental. Like my wife has a couple of things I know that I bought her outside of the ring that she wears on a regular basis. That I know if she takes that off, yeah, I'm in deep trouble.
Which ring?
Yeah, I mean the ring is fine because she switches that out. I'm not too much. There's a necklace that I had bought her a long time ago. That actually I need to go ahead and get it touched up anyway. That she sleeps, showers, eats, whatever. Like she does not take that off.
Have you heard of this permanent jewelry the women are doing? I mean, this was new to me.
Right.
They permanently put like a bracelet or a necklace on you, and you're supposed to it doesn't have a clasp. I guess that's the beauty of it. You just keep it on all the time. You don't have to. But at some point, anyway, what if you gave that to somebody and they didn't like it? You said, "Oh, I'm going to get you a permanent something." I don't know. But, yeah, my challenge this year was actually my New York son that I just visited. Their place is so tiny. I mean, he doesn't want anybody to give them a pair of socks or a book because there's no room. They got no room. Every square inch of that little apartment is accounted for. Mm-hmm. So I can't give him stuff. And they're going to have to move from there in a few months. So I think I came up with a home run. I can't announce it on the radio
Right.
on the outside chance that he or somebody might hear it. But on the way here, I was like, I got just the thing.
The gift of space.
Yes. It'll be in the gift certificate mode, but I think it is a gift that will pay dividends down the road.
Nice.
And it's fitting. Sometimes I got to get – it's like when I had term papers in college or whatever, I got to have the pressure of the deadline.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even think till the deadline's here, and then it comes to me.
Right. Sometimes sometimes like being under pressure, that's when you get your best ideas.
Somebody asked me one time, do you procrastinate? And I said, I don't know. Let me get back with you. Kyle is on a cell phone. What's up, Kyle?
Hey, what's up, Lily? No, it's funny you were talking about this because I was actually having this conversation with my wife. Is the Christmas commercials that always just get me are the ones where they go out and, oh my gosh, it's a brand new Lexus or a brand new Mercedes in the front yard, and
Yes.
I'm like, yeah, like what guy is going to do that? Hey, honey, I didn't talk to you about making this decision to buy an $80,000 automobile. I hope you like the color because we know women always like what you get them.
It's like, hey, I got you a car payment.
You know, it's so funny.
Yeah.
Regardless if you love or hate them, SNL did a funny skit on that.
On a Lexus?
The Lexus commercial.
What was that? What was the take on that? I think I remember.
It was like the husband wakes up. He's
You
like,
did
honey.
what?
And she is mad at him. She was like, and then the neighbor comes like, oh, so you borrowed $4,000 from me and you couldn't pay me back, but you put it on. And he thought like the guy, look, I just had to play, but it's hilarious. You got to go check that out. It's funny.
Oh,
Do they
yeah,
still do those Lexus ads where somebody gets a car for Christmas and ruins it for everybody else that got, flowers?
I think so. Now GMC. Remember when they did the one with the guy and the wife, and he goes, "I got you something. I got us something," and he goes outside, and it's two big Yukon SUVs, and one's red and one's black. And he goes, "One for you, one for me." And she goes and gets in the black one. He goes, "No." She goes, "I love black." He goes, "I like red." I would have been like, "No, get out of the car. I paid for it.
Wow.
I get to decide which color I want."
There goes your Christmas.
That's why I don't buy. Yeah, pretty much. So, but hey, you guys have a Merry Christmas. Stay safe, and let's get ready for the new year.
No doubt. Hey, Kyle, you too, man. Merry Christmas to you, buddy. Hearing from a lot of the regulars tonight as we get wrapped up here. 17 minutes ago, and then I'm gold bricking in my mind. I kind of been doing it the whole last hour.
Well, yeah.
tired.
Well, I mean, since you brought it up, I found that SNL thing that was pretty funny.
Is it clean?
Yeah, it's clean.
Play it.
It hasn't been a normal year, so this Christmas, get her something extraordinary during the Lexus December to Remember sales event.
Nathan, you didn't.
With flexible financing at 0% APR, there's never been a better time to buy or lease a new Lexus.
Merry Christmas, baby.
Are you kidding me, Nathan? Did you seriously buy a car without asking me?
Well, because for Christmas...
This is a major purchase.
Right, but it was a December to remember.
It's a Lexus. We don't have the money for this, Nathan.
We don't?
No, we don't. Your father doesn't... Your father hasn't worked since last March.
Yeah, COVID has hit a lot of people hard, and I'm no exception.
Nathan, you got fired in March 2019. COVID had nothing to do with it.
Hey, pal, I guess your old man's busted.
It's beginning to look a lot like savings, so get to
That
your
is so
local
real.
Lexus dealer today.
That is so
How much
realistic.
did you spend on this ridiculous car, Nathan?
It was only $39.99 to its signing. $4,000. It's not that much, babe.
And how much is the monthly payment?
The what?
Did you think this entire car cost $4,000?
Uh-huh.
There's a monthly payment.
Yeah, but with the 0% APR, I think it's all good.
APR? Do you mean APR?
I'm pretty sure it's APR.
Wow. Just wow.
Hey, come on, it's Christmas. This is good. I did a good thing for us. Let's enjoy it.
Dad, it's 9 in the morning.
So, it's not like I have work later. Come on.
Hey,
Hey, neighbor.
you bought a Lexus? You come to me 3 weeks ago. Oh, Mike, help me. I need money. I can't buy Christmas gifts for my family. My wife doesn't respect me.
I didn't say that.
My wife's cheating on me with everyone. Mom, you are? I want to look cool in front of my son's girlfriend?
Ew, Dad, is that why you pierced your ear?
No, I've had this forever.
I just need $5,000 to get back on my feet. And then you buy a Lexus?
Yeah, well, it was beginning to look a lot like savings at my local Lexus dealer.
I want my money back, man. Tomorrow. Hey, Kathy.
What does that look?
You know what? We're taking this car back to the dealership now.
I better drive.
Maybe we stop by Jenna's on the way over. Show her this cool car your dad got, huh?
Shut up.
Give the gift of Lexus.
Back after this. That is outstanding.
I'll have a blue at Christmas without you. Oh, it feels so blue. It just thinking about you. It decorations of red on a green Christmas tree. It won't be the same, dear, if you're not here with me. And when those blue snowflakes start falling, that's when those blue memories start calling. You'll be doing all right with your Christmas right, but I'll ever be blue Christmas.
That wasn't even actually the Porky Pig voice guy. That was just some guy doing a little parody bit. It owns me. I think this is funny. It's Christmas song.
white, but have a blue, blue Christmas.
You couldn't even have Porky the Pig nowadays because both making fun of his Porky
His stature.
physique.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm losing my ability to make words at the moment. Not only are you making fun of him being Porky, but he had the speech impediment. Can't even do that nowadays.
Nope.
Now they got Peppa Pig. These kids don't know. Porky
They
had
only
character,
do.
man. Porky had overcome some things.
Yep. Yeah, he did.
What does Peppa ever overcome? I don't even know. Y'all, Danny Knowles is with the Knowles Group, N-O-L-E-S, the KnowlesGroup.com. Listen, as we get into the new year, I don't know about y'all, but you're always reflecting, right, on the year before, trying to plan ahead. There's optimism in a new year. And for some of you, that's also on your finances, not just your weight and your health and all these things. Whatever it is you got on your list, if it's your finances and you need to get on track, maybe you need some tough love. I think there's going to be, especially with the GDP numbers today, there's going to be new opportunity in this new year where we're just going to feel like a normal country again. You look at our GDP, I was just looking at some stuff during the break compared to other nations at the moment, and we're on the growth track. We're on the path to become the powerhouse that we've always been, the economic engine of the world. And you want to participate in that. One of those ways, of course, is with proper planning with your investments in the equities markets where your money one day can work for you. And that's what my longtime friend Danny Knowles does day in and day out to get people on track. What you need in a financial advisor, many of you understand this, but let me just repeat it for you. Need somebody who's going to shoot straight with you, not tell you what you want to hear just to get the account, but what you need to be doing. Just like a good fitness coach, they got to push you a little bit to make the commitment to get on track, make these investments and time it this way, and they'll handle the management of it. But these guys know their stuff. Danny worked for some of the biggest firms in the country, all these firms you would recognize. But then years ago decided he'd rather do things as sort of his own way, using those tested tools and techniques, but with the personal touch, treating people with respect. And even folks that don't have a lot, that are just starting out, that want to start good or start over. Sometimes life will wipe you out and you got to start over and get back on track. They'll help you with it at the Knowles Group. Be sure to listen to their show, Understanding Your Money, this on this station on the weekends. Are we running normal weekend programming? I guess we are on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, normal weekend programming.
Once we get through Christmas holiday. It's the Knowles Group. If y'all want to reach out to them, see if it's a good fit, make sure it's a good fit. That's kind of your decision. I'm making an introduction to a guy I've known since I was 10 years old that has always shot straight with people. It's the Knowles Group, N-O-L-E-S, the KnowlesGroup.com. Well, I'm going to slide this story in there. It's not urgent, but I just saw it come across. Apparently, there is a raw oyster salmonella outbreak that's taking place right now around the country. I know some of y'all dig it. I can't do the raw oyster thing, man. You got to have some heat on it. That stuff tastes like snot.
Oh.
Some people love it. But there has been 64 people across 22 states have gotten sick with the same strain of salmonella. Do you pronounce it salmonella? Because when you pronounce salmon, you don't say the L, you say salmon.
Right.
But in this case, it's the same word, salmon. Is it salmonella or salmonella? I think it's salmonella. Why are they messing with us with
I
the
don't
words?
know. I don't know.
Can we just have a meeting and straighten this out for once?
The English words.
My grandmother always called it salmon.
Yeah.
And she'd get that stuff in a can and make us salmon patties.
Yeah. Well, I'll put it like this. If you correct me when I say salmon or salmon, I'm going to say the opposite just so I can be defined.
Yeah, just to keep irritating. That's what I said. Salmon.
Yeah.
It's salmon.
Okay.
Salmon.
Right.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's like potato. I'm going to say potato every single time.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Just be defined. It's like if you tailgate me in traffic, I'm just going to slow down.
Right.
You're going to get later. You ain't pushing me. You're going to be real late today, cuz you can't even see around this big old truck. Good luck. I like to frustrate them. All right, anyway, back to the Knowles Group. It's the KnowlesGroup.com. Oh, I already told you that, the KnowlesGroup.com. And the salmonella outbreak. There's a picture of, I guess, the E. coli. Do you think they just, when they write stories like this, they just go find a random picture of some germs and put it in there?
Ain't nobody paying attention
That's
to
not
that.
what that looks like.
Unless you're a bioengineer and be like, excuse me, looking at the pattern of this biometric of this fungi that you see here.
That
is
does not have the double helix.
Right.
That's not atomically correct for the DNA of a salmonella.
Well, if you look at this horseshoe pattern right here, this tells me this is a synonymous of a bacteria from the Anges area. Now, this is not.
I hadn't heard Nerd AJ in years. By the way, it's pronounced salmon.
Right.
No, it's salmon, smart guy.
The L is elongated when you actually talk about it.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. All right, can we get on out of here? I think we're done. I really do. I've done all the demons we can do for a year. I won't see y'all till the new year. So hang in here. April Marie filling in for me first part of next week.
Yep.
Then we get back into the normal holiday schedule. This Thursday thing's just throwing everything off. But look, if anything, the way this station runs, we don't. Sometimes we'll run a pre-recorded stuff or best ofs that we try to get live hosting here when we're gone, so you're still up to date and in the fresh content. So y'all listen to them. Hang in there. Sometimes I'm the same way. When my favorite host used to be off, I would just go, I'm not listening today. But you still want to keep up on things.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate AM coming in here and handling it for us when she gets here next week. Will you be here all week?
I'll
with
be
her
here.
Next week?
I'll make sure everything is running smoothly. So, yes, I will be here.
Outstanding, my man. Y'all have a great end of the year. I wish everybody newness and happiness as we get into 2026. Just count your blessings. I'm having to do that myself. You get frustrated during this time of the year. Push. Just slow down. Turn it all off. Count your blessings. We all got I heard it said years ago, and I told one of my sons this the other night. I was at dinner with him, and I said, you got to keep your gratitude above your expectations with everything. Just keep your expectations low. Then you can't get let down. And just be humble and gracious. That's my way of saying too blessed to be depressed.
Hey, I mean, I wish I could say it even better than that, but that's the reason why it says Leland Live. I just push buttons. But anyway.
Look out.
I'm just messing. Anyway, yeah, I agree. And, this year it's been a very interesting year, but it's also been a blessing. And I'm grateful for the listening audience. I get reminded each and every single day of how grateful they are of us and the show that we put on. And, I look forward to doing many more in the future. And thank you for tuning in each and every single day to hear the Leland Live. So outstanding. Merry Christmas.
Outstanding.
And Happy
one more
New Year.
time for Burton Campers before I get out the door. You still got time to reach out to them through the holidays. This is a good time of year. I love camping in the cold weather. You can get outside and make a fire. Hikes, to me, hiking, I love to hike. Hiking's better in the winter. You can layer up and get warm and layer down. The bugs are gone. The snakes are gone. You can see everything. Y'all get out there and make some memories with your crew. We're taking ours off for a couple of days during the holidays as well, and you can do the same thing. If you get hooked up with Burton Campers, they've been helping people get set up to make these memories for 50 years. I'm so impressed by that. 5 decades in any business, especially through the turbulent times of the last 50 years, is saying something. They're good at what they do, and they sell the Jayco brand, which is the premier brand of travel trailer and fifth wheel in the country. So go let them match you up with something that fits your budget and fits your vehicle and fits your lifestyle and your crew, and get on out there. BurtonCampers.com. BurtonCampers.com. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, y'all.
Yes, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And until next time, goodbye, AJ.